The growing trend of people turning to online pharmacies to obtain compounded weight loss drugs, such as semaglutide, Ozempic, and tirzepatide, Mounjaro, has emerged as a response to a severe shortage of GLP-1 medications. The high demand for these drugs, combined with insurance barriers and prohibitive costs, has pushed many individuals to seek alternatives online, sometimes at a fraction of the price. For many, this has been a lifeline, offering access to medication that was otherwise unavailable through traditional means. However, this access may soon be in jeopardy, as the FDA cracks down on compounded versions of these drugs, citing patient safety concerns and the risk of overdose. For individuals like Lauren McBride, Michelle Pierce, and Ken Foster, compounded medications have provided significant relief from the difficulties associated with obesity, insulin resistance, and other chronic conditions. McBride, for example, struggled with ineffective prescription treatments and severe side effects before finding success with compounded tirzepatide. She lost 45 pounds and finally felt like her health was under control. Similarly, Pierce, after battling insurance denials and high out-of-pocket costs, was able to access compounded semaglutide online for a fraction of the cost. These success stories highlight the stark reality for many patients who feel abandoned by traditional healthcare systems that fail to meet their needs. The FDA's crackdown threatens to eliminate this crucial option for people who have turned to online pharmacies for help. While the agency claims that this is necessary for patient safety, many who rely on compounded medications argue that they have found reliable, affordable options that traditional channels simply couldn't provide. The sudden disruption could have significant consequences for those who are already struggling with weight loss and metabolic conditions, leaving them without a viable alternative. However, this growing reliance on compounded medications is not without its dangers. While some providers like Fella, which requires blood work and check-ins, seem to offer a more regulated approach, the online pharmacy landscape is rife with unregulated, potentially dangerous options. The risk of receiving counterfeit or improperly dosed medications from dubious sources remains high. Yet, for many, the potential benefits outweigh these risks, as they are left with few other options to address their health concerns. The FDA's move to ban compounded versions of these drugs also raises concerns about the accessibility of life-saving treatments. The shortage of GLP-1 medications is not a new issue, and the high cost of obtaining them through traditional channels continues to place them out of reach for many patients. For individuals like Foster, who have struggled with insurance issues and the unavailability of medications, compounded versions have provided a solution that they may no longer be able to access if the FDA's ban takes effect. The fact that people are being forced to navigate this complex and often frustrating system, jumping through hoops to access medications that could greatly improve their health, is a sign of a much larger problem within the healthcare system. It highlights the need for reform in how medications are distributed, priced, and made accessible to those who need them most. As the FDA continues to focus on regulating compounded medications, the underlying issues of affordability, accessibility, and proper patient care remain largely unaddressed. In conclusion, while the FDA's crackdown on compounded weight loss drugs may have valid concerns regarding patient safety, it fails to recognize the desperate need for these medications and the lack of alternatives. As the demand for GLP-1 drugs continues to outpace supply, the decision to restrict access to compounded versions may leave many patients without the help they need, further exacerbating the challenges they face in managing their health. Without significant changes to the healthcare system, this move could leave countless individuals in a precarious position, unable to access treatments that could vastly improve their quality of life.